How you doing? I'm Darren with Kickin BBQ. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. If you've been here before, then welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about spatchcocked smoked turkey. Now for me, spatchcocking a turkey does a few things. Number one, everything's going to cook evenly. Number two, it's not going to take you 7 hours. A turkey shouldn't take you 7 hours. I went ahead and brined this turkey. I used the Sucklebusters Area 51 brine kit. The directions on this are very simple. It comes with everything you need. It comes with a big brine bag, comes with 2 seasoning packets. So let's go back to yesterday. I'm gonna show you how I brine that turkey.
All right, the Sucklebusters Area 51 bird brine is super simple. We're just gonna get 2 quarts of water onto the stove and add our herb packet. At that point, we're gonna turn the heat on to high and just get the water up to a boil, stirring it occasionally all throughout the process. You can see here it's starting to get warm, but it's not up to a boil yet. Once it is up to a boiling point, that is when we are going to add our seasoning packet, and then we're gonna immediately cut the heat and just stir for about a minute until everything's dissolved. Then you're gonna wanna add 2 quarts of cold water. I like to add some ice and submerge your turkey. Add water if you need to get it completely covered. And then after you brine it, just pat it dry with a paper towel. That'll help crisp up the skin, and that'll help with that beautiful golden brown color that we are looking for. It's very, very simple, guys.
All right, and it truly is that simple. That's all you have to do. Now I pulled it out of the brine, I patted it dry with paper towels, and this is where we're at right now. But we need to get this turkey spatchcocked. We need to get it injected because we are going for full flavor on this turkey today. So let's get in and get this bird prepped up and then out onto the smoker. All right, so again, this is about a 12-pound bird and we have to do some cleaning up here. I'm gonna get the Pope's nose off. Don't need it, don't want it. Never understood what the infatuation was with it. Maybe I'm just not that elegant to appreciate the Pope's nose, but I'm getting it out of there. I'm not gonna eat it. If you want to, that's your prerogative. So I'm just taking off any of the heavier fat here. This neck fat is always a bit thicker there, and that is all we really need to do for trimming. So I'm gonna get this thrown away. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to remove the spine on this turkey so we can get it laying flat. And that is just gonna look like this. We're gonna flip this bird over. We're gonna find the spine on the back. Get yourself a good set of kitchen shears, or if you trust yourself, use a knife, but I am not responsible for you cutting yourself because I recommended the kitchen shears. And I don't feel like stabbing myself today, so I'm just going with these nice KitchenAid ones. I'll leave a link to them down below. They're hardy enough to cut through a turkey, as you can see, just like that. And then we are going to take out the other side here. All right, so there's our spine. You could save this, make gravy, make stock, whatever you want to do. For me, I'm not doing any of that, so I'm just going to pitch it. But you can also freeze it, do a big batch of stock if you want. But like I said, I'm just tossing it. Don't need it. All right, now at this point, we're going to take this turkey, just drain off any of the liquid inside, and just kind of take a peek and see what we're working with here. And I'm just gonna come in and kind of separate that bone right there. Some people will remove this wishbone. I don't do that. If you want to, there's plenty of videos out there for that, but for me, just cutting through there is good enough. So this bird is gonna sit nice and flat. It's gonna cook evenly. The breast, the thighs, everything are gonna cook really, really good. So for me, I'm gonna get this flipped over. You can still see we have some liquid coming out of there. So the next step is going to be drying this bird off here a little bit. So like I said, all I'm gonna do is just kind of take a paper towel to the skin and get everything nice and dried off here. All right, so the next step is to inject this turkey. Yes, I brined it. And yes, I'm gonna inject it because nobody wants National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation turkey that Aunt Catherine cooked that's drier than a popcorn fart. We want flavor, we want moisture, we want it all. So we're also going to inject this bird. This is the Tony C's Creole butter injection. I use it every Thanksgiving. You can make it yourself if you want to, but for $9.99 to have a good bird and have to worry about one less thing, this is my go-to. And one thing I wanted to mention while you're injecting is when you go into the breast, make one hole start injecting, and then move your syringe around within that first hole. You don't need to sit and poke 8 times in each breast through the skin. You can get a lot of different access points for this injection through the one hole in there. And you'll see that breast start to plump up, and that's how you know that all that injection is taking. So I'm going in, injecting, moving, injecting, moving, injecting, moving. So I'm gonna finish injecting this bird up, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, so now that we have this turkey all injected, we need to get some seasoning on it. And I'm gonna start on this backside right here and just season this side first. I'm gonna be using Sucklebuster's Clucker Dust. Look, there's a reason this is their #1 seller, because it is fantastic. It's good on anything poultry, and I'm just going with a light layer on this backside here just to get a little flavor and color down there, like so. Next, we're gonna get this bird flipped back over and start working on our presentation side. I like to do the non-presentation side first. That way I don't screw up my presentation side here. I want this to look as pretty as it can. Now, you guys know I'm not typically a fan of binders, but when it comes to turkey, I like a binder, and I like Japanese mayo. And I know that you might think it's crazy, but people use melted butter, people use softened butter. You just need a fat on there. You can use oil, you can use whatever you want, but I like mayo, preferably Japanese mayo, because it's #1, the best mayo in the world. And #2, it just does a real nice job of browning up this skin. Next, we'll come in with our Clucker Dust, and we want to come in high and even on our presentation side. So you can see this right here. This is looking amazing. And because I'm cooking this on a wire rack, I don't have to worry about messing up my seasoning once I'm transferring it to the cooker, because it is just staying on this rack this entire time. You can see I have the wings pinned back behind. Again, that's just gonna help with even cooking. Now tell me that is not an absolutely beautiful bird. That turkey is perfect in every aspect. It already looks good, and when you set yourself up for a good looking turkey from the get-go, you're gonna have a good looking turkey once it's finished. So this turkey's looking good. Let's get this out on the smoker and get it cooked up. All right, before we get this turkey on the smoker, I just want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Z-Grills. Look, I've been using Z-Grills for years. I absolutely love their cookers. #1, they're budget friendly. #2, they just put in work. I've had 3 or 4 of them over the past 5 years. Never had an issue with any of them. This is a 700D3. We're rocking at 300 degrees today because I like hot and fast poultry. The skin's gonna get nice and crispy. It's gonna cook quickly. It's gonna cook evenly. If you want some more smoke on your bird, let it ride at 250 for an hour or 2, or even lower, and then bump it up and get it done. For me, 300 degrees the entire time is perfect. I'll have a link down below for Z-Grills. If you're interested in checking them out, go ahead and do so. Treat yourself to something nice this holiday season, but thank you to Z-Grills for sponsoring today's video. Let's get this bird on the smoker. All right, we are rocking at 300 degrees, starting off with a nice clean grill. You don't want your previous cooked food on your holiday dinner, so start off with a nice clean grill. We are just gonna go on just like so, and you can see that turkey looks absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna let it go for probably an hour, hour and a half. We'll come out and get a probe in it so we can monitor the doneness. If I need to rotate for even cooking, I will do so. So we'll see you in about an hour. All right, guys, it has been a little over an hour since we got the spatchcock turkey on the Z-Grill 700D3. Haven't checked on it yet, so let's do that now. And check out how absolutely beautiful that bird is looking. It looks phenomenal. Let's get a temp reading, and I like to come in on the side of the breast here, sitting at about 130 degrees right there. Check the thighs, sitting at about 149-ish right there. I'm okay with taking these thighs and legs higher. They're gonna get more tender. They're still gonna stay nice and juicy. But yeah, everything is looking really great. So we're just gonna let this keep cooking and doing its thing. And the next time you see this, it'll be done. I'll let you know how long it's been, but we're a little over an hour in. I'm guessing maybe another hour, but this turkey is looking absolutely beautiful. See you in a bit. All right, so it has been another hour. Let's check in on this bird and just see how we're looking here. Sitting at about 153 degrees right there. That is looking good. Sitting at about 160 in the thigh. So everything is looking really, really good. Now you can see I put some socks on this bad boy right here just to keep the bones from getting too dark. We want the turkey to look nice. So I'd say we maybe got another 15 minutes and this bird's gonna be done. So the next time you see it, it'll be in the house, it'll be rested, it'll be perfect. I can't wait to try this. It looks amazing. So I'll see you when this bird is done in the house. We will jump in and do the taste test. See you then. All right, we have let this turkey rest for about 30 minutes and you can see it looks absolutely beautiful. I love the color that it has on there. It's not really your traditional golden brown, kind of got that barbecue flair to it, which I absolutely love. You can see his feet are still nice and light, not all burnt up from his socks he had on. And man, I have no complaints. The cook went flawless. Turkey looks great. Z-Grills hammered it again. Let's come in and let's just remove this thigh and leg right here just by kind of following what we got going on right there. That looks great. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. And for those of you who don't like carving traditional turkeys, I'm telling you right now, this makes your life a lot easier. And you think this thing's juicy? Look at that juice pouring out of there. All right, so then we're just gonna come in here and you can kind of guess where it's gonna be, just like so. Got yourself a nice little leg. You got yourself a nice thigh. Let's be real here. We're really focused on, is that breast gonna be nice and juicy? So I'm gonna come down the side of the breastbone here, just like so. And this is where people say, oh, well, if you take out the wishbone, it carves a lot easier. Well, I'm sure it does, but I just don't feel like doing all that. And plus, if you know how to fillet a fish, this really isn't that big of a deal. Look at that. Look at that juice pouring out of there. You think that's not a juicy turkey? Look at this. That is a juicy turkey. Juicy AF, as the kids would say. I'm gonna come in, just start slicing right down the middle here, getting a piece of skin on every one of them. Beautiful cook on that. Juicy, dripping like crazy, beautiful looking turkey. That looks amazing. Let's get a couple more slices of this out of here. Check this out. Oh, look at that. Juicy, tender. It's gonna be delicious. I can't wait. Let's jump out and let's do the taste test. All right, moment of truth here. We're gonna try this turkey breast. I have a piece with the skin on here. I can just tell by the texture this thing is tender as your mama's love. Let's go for it. You guys, I love turkey. I've said it before, say it again. I vastly prefer it over ham. This is phenomenal. The Sucklebusters brine has just a very unique flavor. Really helps enhance that meat. The Creole butter just does a great job of keeping it nice and moist. That clucker dust on here though, absolute game changer for turkey. I don't know what it is about it, but it has such good flavor. There's a little bit of spice there that is very welcoming. It just really enhances the flavor of this bird. I'm telling y'all right now, turkey is tender as can be. Skin still intact, means we had good render on this skin. We rendered the fat out. You can see it's not coming off here. We rendered that fat out, and that is what is allowing this to stick to it. And it just helps with moisture when you do that because you have fat rendering on that meat, staying inside the bird. If you can do that properly, there's no reason why you should ever have a dry turkey. Even if you overcook it a little bit, if you brine it, inject it, and render that fat, there's still going to be moisture in there. It's still going to be delicious. I hope your turkeys this holiday season are as good as this one. I also hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Happy Thanksgiving.